Hi everyone and welcome. FPL Matt Day here. We still are on international break. So tonight I'm going to go through some wildcard picks for defenders. I've obviously done the goalkeeper one now for the top three. And this is going to be a quick snippet of my top three defender picks if you are on a wildcard from game week 9 onwards. If you're new here, if you can please give the video a like, give the channel a subscribe. And go and check out all of the socials at FPL Matt Day on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. Hope you're all enjoying the time off from FPL. There is one more week until deadline. Obviously, we start with the Arsenal Spurs game in the North London derby, which I can't wait for. But in the meantime, let's get straight into it. And I will do a share screen and we'll go through my top three defender picks if you are on a wild card. So exciting stuff if you're on the wild card. I'm obviously not myself. Those that follow all my content will know I've used it. But if you are lucky enough to still have your wild card and you've kept it, this far so far, then, you've got some really exciting options in defense. So let's bring up the defenders here, as you can see, and let's go with my third pick. So I'm going to do it from 3 to 1, and I'm going to just explain why I think this is the best order, and why I think these players are ones you need to have on your wild card, basically. So let's go with number 3. And number 3 is going to be a Spurs player, Eric Dyer. He's someone I did look at the start of the season, and I spoke about him in depth on my Twitter. Spurs have this new set-piece coach that helped Italy win the Euros last year. He's helped save teams from relegation through his set pieces. And this year, you've got a Spurs team that has scored from 4 set pieces in the Premier League this season, 3 of them directly from corners, and then one of them where a corner was whipped in the box, it comes straight back out, was put back in, and Eric Dyer scored. So directly 3 free kicks, or corners, set plays Spurs have scored from, and then one of the other goals, the fourth one, was still from a set play. So Spurs are a really big threat this season from set plays. You've got Eric Dyer, 5.1 million, so he's still pretty budget. 6.7% owned, so very lowly owned. He's a consistent starter. Okay, he's only got the 2 clean sheets so far, but he's accumulated 33 points with 2 goals. So he's got that aerial threat. He's also taken a couple of free kicks this season for Spurs as well, so watch out for that. His 33 points is pretty good at the moment with 3 bonus points as well. So big set play threat. Definitely one to look at. You get into that Spurs defense. He consistently starts as well. And he's been pretty good in terms of injuries the last couple of years. Have a look at these fixtures. Okay, there's a couple that look tough with the Arsenal and the Brighton away game. United in there too. You've got Everton at home, packed in there. Newcastle home, Bournemouth away. Leeds at home coming up. And, it's just a player that you can get in. He's in a team that's, likely to sort of be in that sort of top 4, top 6 race. And they're just scoring so many free kicks. Spurs are scoring from so many free kicks and corners and set pieces. So I think he is a brilliant pick. He's in the top 4 scoring defenders so far, and he's a great avenue into that Spurs defense. So that's Eric Dyer, who is currently my third pick from the defenders. If you're on a wild card, consistent starter in a Spurs defense, and he's getting more points than the wing backs because the Spurs wing backs do rotate, whereas the back 3, for the most part, Dyer is always in there. So that's my third pick. Let's go to number 2, and I don't think number 2 is going to be much of a surprise to anyone. It is the current top scoring defender. He's not my number 1 pick. Very close to being my number 1 pick, but it's João Cancelo, my number 2 pick. Look, he comes into number 2 purely based on price. It's a little bit more expensive. Pep could start to rotate. We might see a bit of Pep roulette in this next couple of months prior to the World Cup with all of the Champions League games, fixtures that have been suspended and that type of thing. We don't know when they're necessarily going to come back. Obviously, we expect it will probably be after the World Cup, but we know what Pep's like, and they do miss game week 12, as you can see on the fixtures there. But other than that, Cancelo's got a really clean run all the way up until, pretty much the rest of the season. It's Man City at the end of the day. A lot of their fixtures, it's very rare that they get a tough fixture on the FDR. But it's a little bit about Cancelo. He's 7.2 million. So he's on the more expensive side, but you pay for what you get. 44.9% owned. So if you get his haul, or if you miss out on his haul, then it does really affect your rank. He's currently on 42 points. He's got 7 bonus points, and that's one of the best things about Cancelo is he is a magnet for bonus points because he's so good on the ball and he gets on the ball a lot. He gets in attacking positions a lot as well. 4 clean sheets in 8, so he's in the best defense in the league. He's got a goal to his name. He's got an assist to his name, and he can play on right back and left back, and that's what makes him so good. Because Man City this season, Zinchenko's obviously gone. I know they've got Gomez in there now, but outside of that, they sometimes play Ake there, who's predominantly a central defender. So Cancelo can play there. And on the right-hand side, you've only really got Walker, who sometimes again swaps with Stones, who is a central defender. So Cancelo can play either side consistently and just as well. He's got 2 double-digit scores this season as well. And I think the thing about Cancelo and why he's so good and what really helps sell him in that sort of 7.2 million range is you can captain him. He's a player that you can have and you can captain him because he pretty much acts as a midfielder who is a defender in the game. He is a must-have for me, but he's number 2. And he's number 2, I think, just purely based on that price. Number 1 is someone who's actually very high up in the scoring ranks as well. And I think he's someone that if you're on a wild card, you just put him in. And it's sticking with the Newcastle theme. Obviously, they did well on the goalkeepers. Nick Pope coming at number 1 on the goalkeeper picks. And on the defender picks, it is Kieran Trippier from Newcastle. He's had a phenomenal season so far. As you have a look there, 43.1% owned. He's 5.3 million, which I believe is probably going to rise up to the 5.4 million if he hasn't done whilst I'm obviously on this stream already. He's got 2 clean sheets in 8, which isn't great, similar to Pope, but he's got 4 bonus points in total, a goal and assist, which is the same as Cancelo, whilst being a cheaper asset than Cancelo. Plus he takes corners, he takes free kicks, so he's a huge set piece threat. And then in terms of defenders for creativity, he's number 1 in the league out of 225 defenders. He's number 1 out of 225 defenders in the ICT index, which means he's getting on the ball a lot. He's putting a lot of quality deliveries in the box. His set pieces are accurate, and he's a real bonus point magnet as well. And if you have a look at these fixtures, he's got 7 fixtures in the next 10, which are green on the fixture difficulty rating. And similar to what I mentioned with Pope last night, he's in a Newcastle team where if you look at the goals they've conceded this season, 3 of them were in one game against Man City, which is almost an isolated sort of incident. If you take that game away, they would have only conceded 4 goals in the opening 7 games. So really, he's done very, very well this season. When they do keep the clean sheets, he's on the bonus. I really, really like Kieran Trippier, and I think he is someone that has to be your number 1 pick on a wild card. These fixtures are just too good to say no to. So that's my top 3 defenders. Eric Dyer, number 3, 5.1 million. Really good sort of mid to lower sort of budget option. Still playing for a team in the sort of top 4 and consistently starting. Big set piece threat, and also does take a free kick every now and then. Cancelo, number 2, in the best defence in the league, can play either side. Bonus point magnet, goal scoring magnet, clean sheets, can captain him, brilliant pick. And then Kieran Trippier, number 1, highly owned, still a good price, takes set pieces, can score goals, gets assists. Really, really good pick with a great fixture run. So that is my that's my 3 picks for defenders. Hope you enjoyed that content. Just some short, sharp content. I will be back with my 3 best midfielders and then also my 3 best attackers for your wildcard. So that will be coming soon in the next couple of days. So stay tuned on this channel. Give the video a like if you enjoyed what you've seen. Give it a comment. Let me know what you're going to do on your team and give me a subscribe if you haven't done already. But I will see you in the next one. Thanks again for tuning in, and we will be back for our midfielders video soon.